Hello Maya, I'm down in the booth.
Good afternoon. So today we are going to have a chat about the tapirs. So we've got lowland tapirs here, Kathleen and Nando, which Matt is just going to let through in a minute. So Matt's going to be doing the talk for us. And if you have any questions afterwards for him, please do let me know and I will pass those over to him. Nando was trying to bust through earlier, so I think he's bent the pin. There we are. So Matt is our head of mammals.
Don't wait for me.
So we've got Nando at the front here, and then Kathleen over the back there.
He's on live.
Yeah, he's looking a bit nervous.
Go, Kath, come on.
So we've got some enrichment out for them. Alright, so I'll let Matt tell you a bit more about them.
Hi guys, hope everyone is well and safe at home. So my name's Matt and you may have seen our Brazilian tapirs before. The one you've got in front of you is Nando, he's our male. And then Kathleen is slowly walking over the bridge. Here she comes.
Hello, saying hello.
So Kathleen is 8, she'll be 9 this year, and then Nando is 7 and he'll be 8 later on this year as well. So if you've been to the park before, you will have hopefully have seen them. He's destroyed that, good lad. This time of the year they're a little bit more active, they're outside a little bit more, especially in the water. They do like to swim. So they're just having their lunch at the moment. They've got all different sorts of vegetables on the show. Trying to slow them down when they're eating a little bit. They do have good appetites on them, so we tend to leave the food whole for them, just to slow it down. As you can see, Nando is demolishing his leek. I think 2 mouthfuls and then that will be gone. Yeah, he's enjoying that. And Kathleen is going, she's sniffing around, seeing what's over there. She's gone for a pepper. Peppers are a big favourite of theirs. No, don't want your pepper. She may have I put a melon in here for them as it's Easter. Instead of giving them a chocolate Easter egg, I've given them a melon Easter egg, which they're yet to spot. And normally Kathleen's party trick is to shove it in her mouth hole and then squash it, and then all the juice and seed and everything comes out the side of her mouth. It's quite funny to watch, but it's not her finest moments. Her table manners aren't on show when she does that. You going to go for that, Kath? No? Oh, yeah, here we go. She might do it for us now. Oh, Kath. Right. Show everyone the party trick. You gonna? Go on. Might be a bit too big for you. Go on. Might be
Bit too big for you.
Too big for you. I won't let that fall on you. Go on. No. So yeah, if you've been to the park before, you would have seen these guys, and you would have also seen the baby that we had as well, Matilda, in 2017. She's moved on to another collection now. So with the tapirs, the gestation is about 13 months. So it's takes quite a long time for them to have babies, and they come out all spotty, black and white. Quite nice to see. You're struggling, just trying to find that onion down there now.
Look at that dribble.
Showing off her table manners. Go on, Kath. So these guys come from South America, hence why they're called the South American tapir. Also a Brazilian tapir or lowland tapir, depends how you refer to them. And they're from swampy areas. So as I said to you earlier, they do like to go into the water. Hopefully today they will go in and take a little swim, but nothing is guaranteed. They're more interested in their lunch at the moment. Liking the onion there, aren't you, Kath? Good girl. So it's really important that they go into the water, especially this time of year, because they've got quite sensitive skin. Their skin does dry out, so it does help keep their skin nice and moist and hydrated, and as well any dust that they might pick up and have around their eyes, then they can give all of that a wash off as well. They can hold their breath up to about 90 seconds in the water. It's really quite funny watching them because it's like a submarine. They sort of submerge and then they come up probably about 4 or 5 metres in another place. So it is quite nice behaviour to watch them swimming around. They do like to chase each other and make lots of waves. We've got our own tapir wave machine, and then the ducks probably don't enjoy it too much because they fly off as soon as the waves start going. You good girl, Kath. So as you can see, she's got a nice nose on her as well, prehensile nose, so or a trunk or a snout, and they use that to grip onto their food. Nando may demonstrate. He's found his melon egg. They try and use it to grip onto things, especially with the browse we give them. They like to get their nose gripped around it and bring it closer to them. Come on now. He's got a different approach, Nando, to his melon. He takes little bites. He's struggling a little bit with it. So it'd be very easy just to give it to them cut up and put in their bowl for them, but this way they have to feed for longer and it keeps them busy, so it's nice for you guys to watch them as well. As I said, they've got quite an appetite on them, so if we chopped it up all small, all the food would disappear fairly quickly, and yeah, it wouldn't last for very long. Kathleen's going back to her melon now.
Well, if I have a look, I've got quite a few questions going through, so I'll have a look through those. So bear with me, everyone. I'm just going to go back to the start. So at the moment we don't have any experiences planned with these guys. We've never done experience before. But we're always looking at different ways to get people closer to animals, but it's not something we've ever done. Heather wants to know, is Matt missing them? Are you missing Heather and Phil?
I always miss you, Heather, especially
of
Phil
course. As well. So happy birthday to Sophie for tomorrow. Hi Sandra. Will they be having babies?
Hopefully.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's up to them. Nando obviously takes her out on a few dates and wines her and dines her, and then we'll see what happens in due course.
Now Kathleen does look quite big, so we've got our fingers crossed that could be that, or it could just be too many melons. We will wait and see. So with tapirs, they do hide it quite well up until probably what, a couple of weeks beforehand, once their udders drop. But up until then they do hide them quite well, especially because sometimes tapirs are a little bit more on the chunky side.
And the females are bigger than the males usually, so yeah, like I said, they do hide it a little bit. Cool, Cat. What's that on?
So yeah, so it's definitely a shame that we are closed at the moment. It couldn't come at a worse time of year. So Easter, we make a good proportion of our money to set us up for the year, and certainly to get us through the winter, and to help us with all of our projects and things we do. As I said, it costs us a minimum of about £56,000 per week to run. Obviously when we're open that's a lot higher because we have more staff then, more costs on things like products, cleaning products, water obviously gets more expensive because we're getting lots of flushing toilets, a lot more electricity. So £56,000 a week is sort of our baseline costs, and a lot of that for a week in the winter, for example, we might make on a day like the Good Friday or Easter Sunday. So being shut over the Easter winter holidays is going to hurt us a lot. But we've got a lot of support from you guys, so we are hopeful that obviously we are going to get through this. We've cut back a lot where we can, so for electricity and things, we're trying to run as cheap as what we can at the moment. Obviously a lot of you have been donating food through the Amazon wish list, which is a massive help for us. Hi Henry. Do the tapirs have set meal times or little and often? What do they prefer?
So they've got we feed them 3 times a day. We do try and obviously not stick to set times just so they're not predicting it. But yeah, three meals a day. As you can see, we've given them a different variety of stuff. We do like to keep the feeding behaviour for as long as possible. So as I said earlier, try not to chop it too small or chop it at all, just because yeah, they will demolish it pretty quickly otherwise.
If I remember rightly, also we do try not to give them huge feeds, don't we?
Yeah.
I think it can mess up their gut,
yes,
if they have too big a food,
high
isn't it?
gut fermenter for these guys. So yeah, little feeds, otherwise they get bloated and then it causes problem later on.
So we don't have any volunteers here at the moment, sadly. Let's see. What else do we got? Yeah, so a lot of the keepers, especially at the moment, the easiest form of enrichment for us to give and the most sort of time effective is to do things with their food. So the keepers are always coming up with novel ideas like what Matt's done up here with melons on chains and things, hanging up leeks. And yeah, they do like an onion, and they do have terrible onion breath, but their breath isn't the best at the best of times, to be honest. So they are a tropical species, but they do live in the jungle, so they usually got quite a lot of cover. But as far as I'm aware, we don't need to give these guys sun creams, not like pigs, because they have got that quite nice fur covering, which is difficult to see, but they don't get sun cream, do they?
No, they tend to go in the water, keeps their skin nice and moist, and then they do spend time in the shade as well. So, and they've got a good amount of shade in their enclosure. But we've never had to put sun cream on them, no.
So how many acres are we? I will have to double check that because it does, obviously, it depends on whether you count things like the car park and those sorts of off-show areas, but I think we're in, must be about 20 acres or so. But I'll double check that, and if I'm wrong, I will let you know. Yeah, I love those chomping noises too. That's why I tried to get a little bit closer so you can all hear that chomping. So they mainly have fresh produce. They have a food pellet mix called Country Course, which I've had a look. I can't find that on the Amazon wish list, but we have discovered, I think yesterday, that they absolutely, well, especially Nando, goes mad for the alfalfa. So if you wanted to get, say, the only thing I can think of to put on the Amazon wish list is that alfalfa. So that's a horse feed, but Matt did say that he really liked that. So as I said, we don't have any volunteers here at the moment, so we've stopped all the volunteers for the time being, which is a shame because they're a huge help. I think earlier, did you say the pregnancy lasts for 13 months, is it? Yeah, so 13 months. Yeah. So they are a South American species, I think mainly Brazil, is it only Brazil?
Argentina, Colombia as well.
Cool. I don't know if there's been that many studies done to see exactly how many there are in the wild, to be honest.
These guys?
Yeah.
They're classed on the IUCN Red List, they're vulnerable. And they are becoming more endangered. Obviously the Amazon is being cut down, and farmers are cutting it and making clearance for their livestock, but there are a lot of roads as well going in and out of the Amazon, so there are road traffic accidents involved in these as well, but yeah, vulnerable at the moment. So
hello to Tia. So hopefully, I know there's a lot of people, they've been saying they wanted to come this month, and we've had a few people who are going to be spending their birthdays here and sadly have not been able to, so we're hoping that these live streams are at least going sort of part way towards making up for that. So sadly at the moment it's just not possible for us to open. Hi Steve. How much do they weigh?
So
roughly?
These guys will be about 200 to 220 kilograms at the moment. They can get up to about 250 to 100. Didn't like that talk about their weight.
Yeah. Kathleen soon ran away when you said that she might be up to 300 kilos. Right, so they're about 200 to 220 kilos for these two guys, but I'm guessing what, a big male?
Big male, yeah.
300 kilos potentially.
Up to 300, but yeah.
Have we got any tips for becoming a zookeeper? I mean, for me, I would say the biggest tip would be experience. Get that volunteer time in, the work experience. That's the best way to get into the industry, but most zoos do now also require some sort of qualification, so it doesn't necessarily have to be at university level, but at least sort of an NVQ or something sort of the equivalent. I think you've got a degree in animal science. So Matt's got an animal science degree. So they are classed as vulnerable. So yeah, so these guys do enjoy contact with the keepers, especially Matt. Matt's got a really sort of close relationship with these guys. So they, especially, and Nando loves a good scratch under there.
So eating as well as getting the scratch perfectly.
I think Kathleen is a little bit less sort of hands-on, if I remember rightly. So she's a little bit more sort of
when
shy.
She wants it, whereas Nando's a big softie really. He likes to roll over.
So we are based in Kent, so in between Canterbury and Sandwich. They have got very rough fur. It's very, very short hair. I'm just trying to think of what the best sort of way to describe them. What do they feel like?
It's very similar to a horse.
Yeah.
But their hair's sort of a bit longer. It's not as short as a horse.
Yeah.
And it's not as dense as a horse's hair. I mean, they are related to horses and rhinos. Rhinos obviously don't really have as much hair cover. It's more the skin, but yeah, it's very close to a horse, but as I said, just not as big.
What would they be prey for in the wild? So the only thing that I can think of, but Matt might have a bit more information that would be able to take these down. Well, I suppose actually some of the crocodiles, but I think their biggest predator is jaguars.
Jaguars, yeah.
And then like I said, probably the larger crocodiles.
I've seen as well the pumas as well.
Oh, of course, yeah, in some of the parts of the range there's pumas as well.
But it is mainly a jaguar.
Yeah. So if you look at their size and also how powerful that neck is, you're going to have to be pretty strong to take these guys down. I wasn't listening out. Was there any cats a minute ago?
I think it
The
was
lions.
Tapirs and Brutus, yeah.
So that would have been the lions. They're just letting everyone know that they're about. So it's not dinner time for them. I think they had. What day is it? Thursday. I don't think it's dinner time today for the big cats. Generally speaking, I think it's just one baby. Can they ever have twins? Do you know?
Very rare, but it is just one. Just because of how big a baby is inside, there won't be much room for twins.
And how much does a baby weigh?
About 6 kilograms.
So if you're looking at a 6 kilo baby, that's a big old baby to be carrying around. So generally speaking, it is just the one. Nando was parent reared and Kathleen was hand reared, so not here. So she came to us once she was mature enough, which actually makes it a little bit unusual that it's Nando who likes the attention and Kathleen is more sort of a little bit withdrawn from people, although even she likes a good scratch now and again. So we have had tapir baby before. We do some sort of live stream every single day. We have done one where it was a pre-recorded video, but we still have a live chat. So we've got some animals, for example the reptiles. I can't do a live stream in the reptile house because we don't have any good reception in there. But what I do in those sorts of areas, we'll have a live chat with you when we premiere the video. So yeah, there's always something going on every day. Anyone who's interested, so it's mainly going to be for kids, but we want to get adults involved as well. On Sunday, we are going to be having a virtual Easter egg hunt. It's basically going to be a tour around the park with me, like I will be doing tomorrow. But we'll be looking out for some riddles and clues, which is going to say whereabouts in the park we go to. And then we're going to do something to try and give you a chance to win an experience as well. Right. What's their sort of lifespan?
25, and they can get up to 30 years old.
So 25 to 30 is how old they get. So I don't know how close I am to catching up with these questions. Hi Mia. Yeah, they spend most of their time at night indoors, just so it's a little bit heated in there for them. So for this species, we're not part of the stud book yet. So we are at the moment temporary members of EAZA, the European Zoo Association, and once we become full members, there's a good chance that these guys will join that stud book then. Yeah, they are quite fast. I don't know exactly how fast they are, but
30, it can get up to 30 miles per hour.
30 miles, wow. So apparently 30 miles an hour, so they are much quicker than
But
what their
short distance.
yeah, than what their stature makes out. So yeah, so if they have babies, we do separate them off. So Nando gets kicked out for a little while, and that's purely just to protect the baby, just because they are such big old lumps. Especially if you've got a little 6 kilo baby, and especially if he wants to try and make another baby, then that does get sort of a little bit dangerous for a little 6 kilo animal there. So here we've got Nando, and that's Kathleen over there, the girl. No, I think in the wild they are fairly solitary, aren't they? Yeah. But these two get on absolutely fine together. So in captivity, you'll find quite often they do live in pairs or little families. So we are based in Kent, so between Canterbury and Sandwich. I know that they do poo a lot in the water. I don't know if it's specifically to take the scent away, is it?
It is for that, but it also helps with their bum muscles without getting too much, especially as it is lunchtime. I think some of you may be enjoying the feed over.
It eases the passage.
But thank you, Marcus. That's exactly, yeah.
But yeah, apparently, yeah. So part of it is to take the scent away. So I've learnt something new as well. So yeah, I think Matt would agree that he's very lucky to be able to be so hands-on with these guys. Like I said the other day, I don't know whether. So I know that they certainly for a long time have been his favourite animals here, I'd say. I don't know how that stands now with the giraffes.
I don't have favourites. Not allowed favourites.
Of course you do.
Not
Nando's your favourite.
Never.
Right, while I'm still talking, if someone asks on here what is Matt's favourite animal, then I can pass that question over to him, and then we'll find out. Why did we call him Nando? I think he was named on Facebook, wasn't he?
No, he came with that name.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he came.
Oh, he was already called Nando.
All right.
So he came from a little zoo in Germany. Louise would like to know, Matt, what's your favourite animal? Everyone else has answered, you got to.
I would say Nando and Kathleen are my favourite.
So it's still these guys. But the giraffes are contenders, aren't they, I'd say?
Yeah, they're getting up there.
So it's still these two. But you can really tell that when Matt's up here as well. I think they like him. They behave themselves much better for Matt than they do for the other keepers, I'd say. With some of the other keepers, they know that they can push them around a little bit, because obviously there's a lot these are big animals. 200 kilos is a lot of weight to be pushing around, and they are the main reason why our mammal keepers wear steel toe cap boots, because that's some big toes to be stepping on your toes. So because they are solitary, I don't think they do mate for life. No. So it's just whoever's nearest. Pretty much. They're not too fussy. So no, they don't mate for life. Hello, mate. Alright, so have we got any other questions for Matt while we're in here? Because otherwise we'll leave them to it in a little while. Doesn't look like they're interested in going in the water at the moment. So what treats can Matt give the giraffes? So at the moment they're not really having treats as such. So giraffes have got quite a sensitive diet. But if you're asking for on the wish list, I think the only thing that's on there would be the alfalfa as well if we need it, but to be honest, we've got quite a nice supply of food for the giraffes already. So yeah, they are quite a lazy species. So how much time do they spend sleeping, do you reckon?
So they're mainly sort of 40%, I'd say, of the day sleeping.
So about 40% of the day. They're not the most active of animals. No, their fur's not soft. It's a very coarse hair. And like I said earlier, we don't do an experience with these at Wingham at the moment. So Matt's going to see if Nando wants to go for a swim. Oh no, that wasn't Nando.
Yeah, Nan, come on.
So Nando is usually happier in the water than Kathleen. She is the only tapir I know of that is not a huge fan of swimming. So yeah, so they have access to the lake all the time. The only time that they don't have access, or that we do restrict it a little bit, is when the lake is frozen. So I can always try to get some video if they don't go for a swim at the moment. But I said I think Matt's going to see if Nando will go for a swim now. So anyone asking about the wish list, I have included a link to that in the description for this video. Yeah, so I think the babies are able to swim pretty much straight away.
Yep.
So I mean, that is their main way of getting away from predators, is in the water. So it's important that they're able to swim from as early an age as possible. We have already done a live talk with the penguins, and I see them usually on most of our sort of tours around the park, but I know that someone has bought us a bottle of bubbles for the penguins from the Amazon wish list. So as soon as that arrives, I will make sure to get that another sort of live stream of them enjoying the bubbles as part of their enrichment. So they are separated from the other animals on the lake, but sometimes we do get ducks and geese and things come into their sort of little pen, and they go on fine with them. We've never had a problem with them. If anything, it will be the birds and things freaking out the tapirs rather than the other way around. So tapirs are deceptively nervous animals. Has Matt ever fallen in the water?
No.
No, apparently. I don't know if I believe it. If he did, he probably told us it was on purpose. That's right, yeah. So if we do have a baby, Kathleen and the baby would be separated for a little while, and it's not because Nando's going to be aggressive to it or anything like that necessarily, but it's more so just because they are big clumsy animals. It's just not always safe to have them together. I think the general suggestion is maybe if Matt goes first. So it looks like Nando's not having it today.
Come on, Nan. Come on. Everyone wants to see you in the water.
Well, I think he's not going to go in. What I'll do is I'll get Matt to keep an eye out for if he does go in at any point, and get you to record that for us. A few people have asked for video, and then I can post a video of one of the tapirs swimming if Matt manages to catch it. So the last baby tapir went to another zoo. So that's what we try and do with all of our sort of animals that we breed here. We try to only breed animals or in sort of numbers and species that we're able to move on to other zoos. So I said, hopefully these ones, once we become full members of IAZA, will be joining the stud book. So I want to know how long you've been at Wingham, Matt?
It'll be 10 years this summer I've been here for.
10 years. Yeah, I think you started about the same time as me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I think they've finished all of their food. It doesn't look like they're going to go for a swim. And I don't think Matt's got much else left to say. So I think all the questions we've answered. So I think we're going to say good. So why do we move? So when we have babies, like I said, they are generally solitary animals, so if we do breed them, they do go to other zoos to make new pairs, or have sort of solitary animals there, because we wouldn't want to have a group of 5-10 tapirs, because it's just not sort of a normal way for them to live. They're quite happy in pairs and maybe 2 or 3 animals, but you don't have too many of them together. Right, so we are going to say goodbye. So hopefully you'll join us tomorrow. I'm going to have a tour around the park, so put down in the comments below who you would like to see. So I've just said, I had someone say, can I say hi to Matt from the guinea pig girl? And no, with the tapirs, none of those go back to the wild. We're not part of any release projects with those. We have released a few European wildcats, and we are looking at a few other projects at the moment. But I don't think there's any big release projects for tapirs available, to be honest. Right, so like I said, put the comments down below what you want to see tomorrow. We'll see you again, and then on Sunday come and join us for our Easter egg hunt as well. So from me and Matt, goodbye, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, bye.